let's bet. Alright, we're good. So let's pull up the samples. Right here we got I think I'll put it under Folly or something. I guess it's still reading out, so we're gonna have to wait a bit. Does Lightning McQueen have car insurance? Oh, finally, we got it! Sorry it took so long, but we finally got it. Alright, so, we're gonna go ahead and start on the drums. This way. So right here, there we go. We got our kick. So, in EQ, so right here, these are high frequencies. This is like hi-hats and stuff. Here are the mids. This is where a lot of the flavor, as they like to call it, is. And the low is the bass. So, Alright, so if you bring up the bass, maybe turn on the highs too, because we do have a little background noise going on here. Get a really nice kick. A really great, also a way to shape these drums in Ableton is to use the drum bus effect, which is right here. You can basically add punch and other stuff to your drums to make them have like a boom, like a kind of like an 808, and they let you shape it around. It's really cool. Alright, so there we go. We got our kick. You can also turn into an 808 if you want, which is really cool, but we're probably not going to make something like a hip hop or a trap beat, so we'll just keep it like this, which is, perfect. Now let's get on to making the snares. That's Uriel eating. Uriel, in this sample, he's eating chips, recorded it, and if we chop it up, we can actually make some really cool samples out of this. It sounds so weird, but it's possible. So we're gonna go ahead and drag this here, get the transient. So that's how they made the Minecraft. You know that chomping sound in Minecraft? So let's put a drum bus on this, and since it's snare, we're gonna want transients. Now transients are like it's where all the sound is. The highest point. So like this right here is just noise, but it's that little right here, the wave. It's the most active one, if that makes sense. That's what a transient is. I'm just gonna bring up the transients here. But as you see, there's a lot of noise coming out, so we're gonna go ahead and EQ that out. So what we can do is take the high end, like they have an EQ. So yeah, then we just put some drum bus. We already got a drum, and it's kind of weird to think that this is Uriel. Uriel, thank you. Can we all give a round of applause for Uriel? Thank you, Uriel. You're an absolute. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good drum loop. We just gotta quantize that, because boy was I offbeat. There we go. Beautiful. Now we just need to loop that, and now let's get into the melody. So remember that laser gun? So let's go ahead, open up a sampler or instrument rack rather, and drag this in here. Now what Ableton does, it turns it into basically a playable instrument. So if we start playing on it, basically you want to just, so it basically turns it into its own instrument which you can play, which is really nice. So very minimalistic. May not sound good at all. It really doesn't, to be honest, in my opinion. But for what we were kind of making out of all of this, it's pretty interesting. You'd be surprised with what you can do with this kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and add some sidechains. So that's actually really dope. My recording just stopped. Basically, so we're gonna make another little glass hit, but as you guys can tell, very muddy. Doesn't really sound good at all when you. It's just. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go through multiband dynamics, and we're gonna add OTT. I already have some here because it stopped recording. But basically, what OTT does, it polishes up the sound, creates its own high end out of the sample of what's left, and it sometimes it sounds a little weird, but it usually gives good results. So it's really good for bringing up the high end because this is a very muddy clip because we are lowering it down an octave of the original sample, so it has to kind of like sacrifice a lot of its high end to keep it sounding simple, like an action. So yeah, oh, and I put an arpeggiator on this so we can get just by holding 3 notes because it's easier. He has the time to actually play music. So as you guys can see, yeah, it's definitely working, so that's good. Alright guys, so my camera just cut out again, and in the mid-process, you didn't really miss much. I turned the tempo, and the song just like grooved out. It's like awesome. So now here, it's faster, and the bass has a little more of a cool like funk to it. So if we play it here. So what I did here, I added a sausage fat in it. I'm not entirely sure how it exactly works, but it just
does. It just makes
everything
everything
makes it
super
very
loud.
loud.
So
I added a filter to give it like a whoop. Unfiltered does. So essentially it's just 130 multiplied, so it doesn't really matter the BPM, but I don't want to rearrange it, and I mean I could have just like done this, but I was just, I wanted it. It was just a quick tryout, and I'm just okay with it and stick with it. Let's add some. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought I was going to use a lot more of these samples, but I ended up using most of the park samples I got, which I'm happy because I didn't get many, so I'm glad I was able to stretch it out. I was expecting it to be a little more complicated, but I'm really happy with the result and how I managed to get a sine wave out of this kick, because I was dying to get like a sub or some kind of cool bass. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Talk to you later. Bye. That's like how everyone does it.